Coach Garey back again, and we're going to round out this series by taking action on the very simple steps you need to take to reduce blood pressure. All right, rolling. We talked about 120/80 as being the perfect blood pressure score, and as we get older, it's going to rise up a little bit just because we're wearing out. We've got 60, 70, 80, 90 years in our lives, and we're pumping blood every single day, every moment, every second. And those pipes will wear out eventually, but in the meantime, we're going to keep good maintenance on things, right? And so the number to also be careful of, or to be very aware of, is if your blood pressure reaches 180/100, then things are very, very high and very dangerous. And, just call 911, get the ambulance, and go to the hospital. That's what you need to do. However, most people don't get there except for this one situation. I had my blood pressure at 180, and it happened in a very particular circumstance when I was driving in the Beltway after a very severe rainstorm. Thunderstorm. It was the end of August 3 years ago. Yeah, so on the Beltway, traveling 60 miles an hour, come up over the ridge. All of the traffic in all the lanes is completely stopped. Hit the brakes and slow down as fast as I can. And I was really, really lucky not to smack the car in front of me. I just managed to stop just in time. Of course, the natural thing to do is look up in the mirror and see who's behind you. And that guy was not so lucky. He slammed right into my rear end and knocked me into the car in front of me. And I managed to move my car off the road into the side. And we waited for the police and the EMT to arrive. So I didn't feel like I had any physical. I'd hit my head. I definitely had a concussion that we figured out pretty quickly. But the EMT took my blood pressure, and I was like 179 over whatever the bottom number was. My blood pressure was elevated because why? Huge amount of stress. All of a sudden, my adrenaline just spiked out of control, and I'm pumping like crazy because I was in danger, right? So the danger passes. They waited 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and they retook my blood pressure and come back down to 140 something. And it was fine. I didn't feel like I needed to go to the hospital. But that, when you're in a very severe circumstance where there's trauma, your blood pressure is going to spike because you need that adrenaline. That's the chemicalization of our body works that way, that when we need the extra energy, when we need the extra resources, when we need even a greater amount of insight and focus, your blood pressure will spike. You will release epinephrine and adrenaline, and you will be on point to get done whatever needs to get done. So that's how it works. So there's another place where a lot of people get into trouble with blood pressure, and that's called the white coat syndrome, where it doesn't matter how well they're doing when they're at home or doing their normal activities. When they get to that doctor's office, the heartbeat raises, the blood pressure starts spiking, and it's sort of this inset panic or subconscious feeling like something may be wrong with me. So the heart starts going boom, 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 boom. So if you have that one reading at a doctor's office where it's really high and off the charts, generally one reading does not a diagnosis make. So we want to get on a program where we're testing regularly outside of the doctor's office. So you may invest $50 into a blood pressure monitor that you can keep at home. But you got to make sure you go to a medical supply store where they can actually fit you with the right size cuff. That's very important. If you have the wrong size cuff or you don't know how to do it properly, you will get really weird readings, and that's not good for anybody. So those are two little pieces of advice about high blood pressure. I'm going to get to those topics on how to prevent the high blood pressure at the beginning in a minute. If you have a question
that we have not answered up till now, put the question down below. We will make a video for you.